There's no doubting it really is something big, as the endless adverts proclaim. But the jury is out on whether QR National represents the stock market opportunity of the year or a great train robbery. Retail investors have another 11 days to make a decision before the offer closes. The Queensland Government is spending big to get them on board, but some say the numbers simply don't add up. Andrew Robertson reports.
You can now apply for shares in QR National.
The question is, would you want to? And there are plenty of people lining up to cast doubt on the Queensland Government's partial privatisation of one of its biggest infrastructure assets.
Anywhere between 16 and 20 times earnings 2 years out for an industrial stock in this market is just too expensive.
QR National is being priced in a range from $2.50 to $3 per share, with a guarantee for small investors that they won't pay more than $2.80. The exact price will be determined when institutional investors bid for shares on the 18th and 19th of November. Those indicative prices would give QR National a market value of between $6.1 and $7.3 billion.
When you're looking at tangible assets, it's quite an easy asset to sell to people and say, look, you're getting a piece of this, you're getting a piece of railways, rolling stock. But it all comes down to the pricing, and it all comes down to what you're paying to get those assets.
And like Sirius Asset Management's Kieran Kelly, Greg Canavan believes that based on the numbers in the QR National prospectus, a minimum price of $2.50 a share is too much.
If you're paying the book value price for this business, which is roughly where the offer is coming in at, you're getting essentially lucky to be getting a 6% return as a business owner. Now, the share price can do many things depending on the sentiment at the time of listing, but if you're a long-term owner or a long-term shareholder in this business, you're locking yourself into a reasonably low return.
Funds manager Roger Montgomery agrees with Greg Canavan and Kieran Kelly that the price is too high. Among his concerns is QR National's plans for billions of dollars in capital expenditure.
The reality is shareholders, investors have to write cheques for $3 billion. I mean, I wouldn't want to own a business where I had to reach into my pocket and write a cheque for $3 billion decades after the business began.
For Kieran Kelly, the Queensland Government's decision to retain a large shareholding in QR National carries big risks for potential shareholders, and it reminds him of the float of Telstra.
They're assets that don't have alternative uses. They're network-type assets. They come with a quasi-monopoly that can be dismantled.